On this evening's editorial, we're joined by Dr. Gunjan Mansingh, Head of Department and Senior Lecturer at the Department of Computing at the University of Western East Mona. Dr. Mansingh will provide insight into the fourth revolution. Good evening, Doctor, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Basil and Michelle, and to all the viewers too.
Please, the floor is yours.
Sorry, I didn't hear that completely.
No, please, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I'm going to share a screen, so I hope my viewers can see some slides.
Nope.
We are living in the digital age, so we should have some excitement happening on the screen. So I hope you all are seeing my screen.
Yes, we are.
I am Gunjan Mansingh from the Department of Computing at the University of West Indies, and I'm here to speak to you about the fourth industrial revolution. Now, just imagine, before listening to me, you were doing something exciting and were listening to music on your phones, streaming over a cloud provider. Simple as it may sound, this connection is through multiple networks. Your Wi-Fi to your home network. That is connected to an internet gateway through the internet service provider like a Flow or a Digicel, and to a music streaming service which may be hosted on a cloud. The return connection is passed from the mobile phone to a Bluetooth headphone in milliseconds. If you move from one room to the other room or the building, the music continues as you move around. You notice that the mobile application is also making recommendations alongside each music track you're playing. It suggests music that you've never listened to. You click on the link and you soon hear similar sounding music that you actually do like. How is it doing all this? Well, welcome to the fourth industrial revolution. The first industrial revolution was said to have been powered by steam, the second by electricity, the third by semiconductors, or you may call it even electronics, and the fourth, you can say, is powered by internet. It is standing on the shoulders of third revolution and is evolving at an exponential pace, things that we can't even imagine. Steam, electricity, and electronics took society from mechanical production to mass production and to automation. We are now looking at digitalization and personalization. So there are 12 technologies that are part of this industrial revolution. You may have even heard about some of them. AR and VR is augmented reality and virtual reality. I'm sure my gamers would have heard about them. Internet of Things, where all devices around are connected and we can talk to our lights and even our locks and devices in our homes. Artificial intelligence, which has been around since 1956, but now it seems to be taking center stage in this revolution. I always say that if AI was a person, it would have reached retirement age, but the reverse is happening here. Why? Very, very important question. It is actually the fusion of these 12 technologies and how they interact across the biological, the physical, and the digital domains, which makes this fourth revolution different from the previous ones. The lines between the physical, digital, and the biological worlds have become blurred, and it is changing the way we live, we work, and we relate to one another. And as a teacher, I like to explain these things. So what does that mean? In the world of wearables, which you all might have seen, the physical, biological, and digital worlds are highly connected. With the help of sensors on our devices, the data from our body gets captured. Your blood pressure, your oxygenation, your heart rate, all this data can get captured. And it can get shared with medical professionals or even your loved ones. The apps on your phones can make medical decisions. And it can even release medication in our body. For all this to work seamlessly, we need real fast connectivity. And that is where technologies like 5G come into play. These connections will need very, very fast. It will need to be very fast. So you can see how the biological world, the physical world, and the digital world have now become one in this revolution. So what does this mean for us to live in this digital society? We have to become digital beings. We could be digital natives based on when we were born, or digital immigrants, but that's, we all have to fill this gap, and we have to become digitally literate, I should say. So in the fourth revolution, I will not say that we're going to lose jobs. That is always the fear when there is a new revolution, industrial revolution. I will say that we will lose certain tasks, but there will be plenty of digital jobs. In the next 2 decades, 90% of all jobs will require some form of digital skills. Hence, companies and countries that have such a workforce will have a competitive edge. Everyone nowadays, all companies are talking about digital transformation. I'm sure CVM is also undergoing that. Especially with COVID, all this has become accelerated. We all have powerful computers in our pockets or in handbags, which in days gone by would have been a size of a refrigerator. So you see the amount of computing power we are all working with. So what does it mean for us to live in this fourth industrial revolution? We can use our phones and buy even 2 cucumbers from the vegetable market. We can use a 3D printer to print an organ. Oh my gosh. We can use a 3D printed prosthetic that is controlled by our mind. Or simply do shopping by actually seeing how the item will look on us. That's quite amazing, isn't it? We don't need to even touch it and we can see how it will look on us. Now, the important thing to note is that fourth industrial revolution is about people and not about machines. When people hear about fourth industrial revolution and all about machines, they think about robots, walking around, but it's not about the machines. It is about the people. It is about digitalization and personalization. It is coming to each one of you directly. The technology is speaking to you. Your medical concepts are for you, personalized for you. So that is the stage we're leading to. The music that is being streamed is for your liking. So this is the era, is about personalization. And for that to happen, billions of people and countless machines are connected to each other. With increase in processing powers, with quantum computing, massive storage capacity and speed, with edge computing and 5G technologies, the data is being collected and harnessed like never before. Data becomes the most important resource. Some even call it the new oil. With all this valuable data, we have more reasons to be aware about privacy and security. And your business segment before even spoke to something about some Apple privacy and how it's impacting the technology companies. We have to really be more careful about how we are securing our data and how we are ensuring that it remains our data. I always recommend my students to see 2 movies, and I would tell the viewers to go and see the movie called The Great Hack and The Social Dilemma. It will change how you view your data, how you share it, and then, of course, how you protect it. I think most of you think that your phones are listening to you. That is big data in action. Be very mindful that if something is free, and we do use a lot of free products in this data world, that means you are the product. So I'm at UE. So what are we doing in my Department of Computing in this fourth industrial revolution? So I would just like to share this slide with you. It is my student Chinna and her PhD research, where she actually used a cell phone to record breathing sounds. And you can see the cell phone on her classmate Dean and how it's recording the breathing sounds. And then she uses machine learning and different algorithms to find if there were any wheezing sounds in the breathing patterns. So that's using machine learning. She was doing that, and she did get a PhD, and she's now an academic herself. This is some research I'd done years ago, but it can be extended. And what I like to say is that AI can support agriculture. We can use sensors, we can use expert knowledge, machine learning to identify disease and manage crops. And that will be very important for food security as we move forward in the subsequent revolutions.
Dr. Mansingh, unfortunately, we are out of time, but this has been fascinating. I've enjoyed your presentation. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And you must come back to complete it.
Definitely.
Sure. I will just like to end on Captain Picard. That things are only impossible until they're not.
Until they're not. Thank you so much.